Hey kids, Invertical here. Welcome back to Autonauts. Last week's episode did not happen, mainly because I was trying to get some stuff done in this game. So I'm going to show you where we're at and what's going on, and yeah, we can figure out what to do here. So I wanted to work on was the silkworms and start working on rails. So here's what's gone on. Last week, I finished the research for silkworms. I also finished the research for the rails. So I made myself a rail train shed and a bunch of rails, and I figured, okay, this is a good start. Just enough to see what we can do. And then I realized this thing needs 500 units of power to drive. A water wheel will do, the biggest thing I can produce right now is 150 units of power out of one water wheel. So 500 of these, I need at least 4 water wheels. So after burning up a huge amount of lumber and metal, making all of these rails, I realized I gotta now make 4 water wheels, so I started building the water wheels. As you can see, 1 is built, 2 more are ordered, and they're waiting, and our lumber supply is screaming. It is starving so bad. This entire thing is hemorrhaging because the demand on it is far exceeding whatever I can produce. I would need to double or triple this lumber production to catch up. While that was going on, and I mean, this is literally about 10 or 12 hours that the game has been running just to get this to this point. I built the silkworm stations, and then I started looking at the silkworms. So what do I have to do to get these things going? Like, I need a coconut, and I need a where was the whole thing? It was I needed a crude animal breeding station. That's what I need the coconut for. I need a coconut to do the research to get the silkworm crude animal breeding station so I can combine leeches and string and make silkworms. Those then I have to put into the silkworms have to go into the silkworm station with mulberry seeds. Mulberry seeds, of course, are cotton seeds and berries in a crude plant breeding station. So I can reuse the crude plant breeding station that I need to make for the coconut. It's starting to unravel. Everything's coming apart. Once I have that, then I can make the silk moth. Now the silk moth, of course, is I needed for where were we here? The clothing that I wanted the silk for, which was, I believe, not the 3-piece suit. What was the one we were going to go for the last item of clothing? Because we went for the blazers, and I believe it was either the suit and tie, or I can't remember what it was, but either way, we still need the silk cloth, which comes from the power loom, and silken thread. Silken thread comes from the silkworm cocoon. But there's also a research involved, and that is the level 6 clothing technology research that has to happen yet. I have the spinning mules unlocked. I haven't built them yet. It's another thing that's going to require power. Currently I'm working on is the better bots for technology. This one should probably pop off here shortly. Oops, I don't know where my guy just ran off to. Because it's only 3 million. I'm actually starting to notice that I have a stockpile of WOV, of the 100-point WOVs piling up here. So I might have to do is actually get another bot just working on collecting those. And get a third research station on the go here. The problem is, while I was waiting for all of this to go down, we finished the research for, of all things, the encyclopedia. Encyclopedias require a printing press. They're real easy. They require a printing press, 2 reams of paper, 2 bottles of ink, and 2 simple books. The simple books, I am struggling to keep simple books in the town here. Basically, every one of my people is screaming for the books because this guy can only move 2 at a time. And it takes a little more than 4 carts full of wood to make a book. I had doubled up the carts. I figured, I'll put a second cart over here. Well, remember, my trees are screaming, but I've got 2 carts supplying the books. Both of these guys are supplying books. So I'm not sure what I can do, because I can't really work on this. I mean, I'm waiting for planks right now for this to finish. And then I can at least get my coconut and start looking at what I need to do the silkworm farm. We're going to move the whole silkworm farm down here because it obviously doesn't require power. Will it fit in here? It will, and it will fit just nicely in here. Although we will move this, and we'll plop that down like so. Like that. There we go. And I'll do is I'll start putting the silkworms in here. Now, of course, our clothing factory is going to be ridiculously huge, but we're going to need an entire assembly of these. This is struggling to keep 2 books going. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, what are my options? Well, option number 1 is I find a way to import 3 times as much wood. Or I just basically build a large forest and import a forestry an entire forestry assembly over here somewhere and start doing that. So that's probably what's going to end up having to happen. Is I'll start clearing off some real estate down here and put in a forestry, and now I've got to build basically I need to build 3 printing presses. So let's figure this out. So we need a minimum. We haven't even gotten to the trains yet. I wanted to start building these things, and we haven't even started on them. I wanted to figure those out today. That was the whole point of what was supposed to have actually been last week's episode. Where is the things I'm looking for? Okay. Printing presses. We're going to need, for the encyclopedias, I want 1 to do encyclopedias and 2 to do books. Okay. Each of these is going to require at least 1 paper mill to keep up. So let's say 4 paper mills, because we need a little surplus. Now each paper mill or each printing press also requires at least 1 cauldron making charcoal. So that means build cauldrons are underneath the kitchen are upgraded this. So I'm going to say 1 cauldron per 1 cauldron per thing. Now, the problem I'm having also is charcoal. This is where the actual real consumption is. It's only 4, whoops, I didn't want to move there. It's only 4 wood logs per paper, which is 16 wood logs per book. Doesn't sound like much. 16 logs, that's only a cart of 10 twice, basically. One and a half carts to make the paper. It's the ink. It requires 4 charcoal per ink. Every charcoal requires 2 logs. So that's 8 charcoal per ink per 4 ink. So that's 4 eighths is 24 charcoal per, or 24 logs per, just for the ink. So that's, now we have a cart and a half for the paper and 2.5 carts for the charcoal. And then we need fuel for the clay jars and this. So that's where our big problem is. So I'm going to say that I need at least, because we're struggling, the cauldrons are not really the struggle. I think the real struggle is the charcoal furnaces. So maybe we can do is say, let's have 2 charcoal, or 2, can we delete these please? Thank you. 2 cauldrons. I believe it's crude ovens. Where's the furnaces? This charcoal furnaces. I'm going to say we need 4 charcoal furnaces to keep up to the demand for the thing. We're going to need a crude clay station, for the jars, right? 1 for the jars, yes, and a crude kiln to make the jars. I don't think we really need more than that because the jars don't seem to be a delay. I have the clay, that's not a big deal. We can actually import the clay if we have to for this assembly. What else do we need? Well, power. This assembly is running on 4 windmills right now, and I mean that's keeping it going. So assume that we say 4 windmills for that system. Well, a windmill's 50, so if we went with water wheels, we're looking at 3 windmills per water wheel. You're looking at, let's say, for this, so we're doubling this, right? We're doubling and a bit. So we say 1 1/3 of a water wheel per thing. So we're looking at probably 3 water wheels to power this assembly. Now the problem, of course, we also need to make because I don't want to import all the stuff, we're going to just literally cut our wood. So we're going to need a wood log storage unit. We're going to need a couple of crude workbenches, 1 for shovels, 1 for axes, now we have a stone storage here, or a stone supply here, so we can collect the stones from there. So we don't need that. We will need a storage for the sticks, and a storage for the tree seeds. We're also going to need at least 1 seedling tray, but I'm going to say 2 seedling trays. Now we already have, we can import the compost. That's not a problem because we're producing more fertilizer down here than we are consuming right now. This guy's basically filling this bin. As far as I can tell, it's always full. And there's lots of poop. So the compost is not the issue. Now, thinking of the robots we're going to need for this, we're looking at, well, I'm going to say double what we have here for tree storage. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 tree farms going right now. So we would say 8 tree farms at the full size. So I would have to find my big guy here. We're going to teach him area. I'm going to bring it over here. Now, of course, I am going to build this assembly here. I want the books production here, but I'm going to have to build the farm, the tree farm, here-ish someplace. So we're going to basically just say right here, and we're going to go max that area and switch this over to horizontal stripes. Now, each stripe was 1 tree farm, right? So let's count that out here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tree farms. That should be sufficient for what we need. So, I mean, that's the, essentially, that's what I need to produce this. So, all of this construction, plus walls, did I just delete that? I bet I did. Edit area. Bring that area over here. I love doing things twice. You know, what can I say? I love doing things twice. Vertical stripes. No, horizontal stripes, please. Hit OK. Stop recording, keep changes. We're just going to leave it set here. I will adjust this as we get closer to having this whole unit built. Now we will have to figure out a way to get water in here. So what I might have to do is set the unit up here someplace and bring water in, or pipe water over from here to wherever the farm is. But what I'm probably going to have to, what I will have to do, not probably at all, what I will have to do is literally harvest out all of this area here, clear out all the bushes, the trees, and all that nonsense. So that's going to take a bit of time. So what we're going to do is grab this little helper guy. I'm going to say, come over here where I am, and grab myself a shovel. You have no item in your hand. Good. Okay. We're going to teach him, and we're going to delete everything that he's got. First, we're going to say, find me any mushrooms. And find me any of Why didn't you... No, don't pick up mushroom. Dig. There you go. Find me any weeds. And any berry bushes. Okay. Have a shovel. Do this until your hands are empty. We're going to max these areas. Now, I could do is grab a sign. Could do is grab a sign and put that down. I'm going to max this area and we'll just set it here and hit OK. I might need to put a memory upgrade on this guy. We'll max this area. I'll hit OK. Max this area. We'll hit OK. Until hands empty. So fail this, fail this. What do I got the most of? Weeds, right? You know what? Let's do... Find the bushes until your hands are empty. And then find the weeds until your hands are empty. There you go. No memory upgrade. It's really crude and fast, but ugly, but it'll start clearing this nonsense out. And hopefully if he doesn't find any mushrooms, he'll just go on to search for berry bushes. If he doesn't find any berry bushes, he'll go on and search for weeds. And he'll continue until his hands are empty, until that's broken, and start digging this nonsense up. I'm going to have to dig up all these pumpkins and dig up all of this wild wheat. That's all going to have to come out and clear out all of this nonsense here. So we got a lot of prep ahead of us. As you can see, unfortunately, it means I'm not going to have a lot of real content of me building anything, because I'm literally waiting for stock to build. I need 3 water wheels to power this, or three more water wheels to power this, and 3 water wheels to power this assembly. Both of those assemblies are going to take a huge amount of resources. And the trees needed to get planted, that's something I can probably just do trees between episodes. It's not like you don't know how to do trees. I mean, we can do a refresher on those, I guess, because that's going to take some doing. I'm going to have to set all of that nonsense up anyway. We've got the crude plant breeding station, so what we can do is bring this over here by the... I'm going to need this over here anyway for the mulberries. So we bring that over here, hit OK. Come down here. I want to get the coconut going. Okay, so make me a coconut. So I need 8 bulrush seeds and 8 tree seeds. So let's go find some bulrush seeds, which are over here. Oh, I've got to fix this guy. stop this for a second. This is another issue I've been finding. Repeat. If. No, it's not a if loop. Undo that. Delete that. Bring in an if loop. If hands. If your hands are not full, go find a fresh water can. No. If hands are full. If hands are full, use held item. If your hands are not full. So basically, if your hands are full, do this. If your hands are not full, then your hands are empty. If your hands are empty, then do the hands empty thing. For some reason, you have to put this extra little check in here. Keep that in mind when doing this kind of script for these guys. Because otherwise they will stand here and break down and go, well, I don't have any water can, but I'm supposed to fill one up. And they're kind of frustrating. Okay, there's 4. Let's go shove these in here. Okay, we have unlocked got the mushroom, we've got the coconut. Let's grab the coconut. We're going to take that over here and queue that for our next research. Yeah, it's definitely looking like another research station might be in order, because these are back stuffing just because they're waiting for these guys to load into them. There's an issue I didn't think I was going to have for a while, but okay. So there is a load of constructions to be done. These are still waiting for panels. I mean, I'm literally going to be just creating water wheels for quite some time here, and we've got a ways to go for this guy to finish. I'm going to have to go find a new shovel for him because he's broke the one that he had. And as for the garbage out there, I might just go get the stone head or something, move it over there and just pick all that crap up. And we will come and set. Okay, so we set this to mulberry seeds. So now, mulberry seeds, what we need is 8 berries and 8 cotton seeds. Now, cotton seeds are easy, of course. I've just got a big stack of them sitting right here, so it's nothing to grab cotton seeds from here. The berries, on the other hand, I was thinking that what I might do is get this old berry farm back up and running. Although we can just grab from this storage crate here and just haul it down. Noticing, because this still has berries in it, so I mean, we're still keeping in the kitchen, we're still keeping good with food, and we have piling up, obviously, so that's not the issue. So maybe that's all we'll do, is we'll just get a single bot. And it'll be mulberries. Mulberry maker. Whoops. Teach. Come to me. There we go. So his thing is going to be to come over here and grab a... whoops. Cotton seed. Find a cotton seed. Put in machine. And yeah, we'll just take it from the crude plant station here and put in machine. I don't know how fast we're going to be burning through the mulberry seeds, so what we'll do is we'll just simply forever. I could put a brain cell on him, and I could increase his thing to say, take 2 bring back to, take 2, bring back to, or I could just leave it like this, because you literally just do this, do this, do this, add the do this until question mark is full, of course, being this forever. It's got 1 kilobyte left. I can leave him like this. He's just going to go for one, go for the other. So I think that's what we'll do. What we'll do is grab him a pair of running shoes. Because he's going to have a bit of running to do. Let's equip him for running. Okay, there we go. You can get started. Okay, our mulberry guy has finally made himself a mulberry seed, so we're just going to grab another dude. Dude ham. You will become the mulberry feeder. Oops, no spell today. M-U-L. Okay, teach. Come to me. You will pick these up and no. Pause that for a second. Pick this up. Teach. Insert into silkworm station. And then all I'll have to do is repeat that for all 3 silkworm stations. We're going to have to wait until those are done, so we're going to keep recording. Come to me. And we'll wait until he's finished the next mulberry. I don't know how fast they're going to go through these, but we'll deal with that when it comes down to it. Let's get the programming done for these anyway. And these are strictly metal. Let's go over to the metal area here and move. We will select. Select this nonsense here and store it. Okay. All 4 paper mills, and we'll bring those over here and rotate them like so and plop them down. Okay, those can get started on. I've made a second iron mining bot over here because these guys were struggling to keep that to keep this guy fulfilled, especially when I was building all of those nasty little train cars. Panels and planks and poles. A lot of things that are requiring logs that we just don't have. the paper plant, the books are literally consuming more than we are producing. So what I will probably actually do is is delete these 2 importers and have somebody hauling from this as well over here for these guys. I don't know what we can do. Once we get the mulberry seeds fed, I can't do anything until the research for the silkworm is done. Of course, the silkworm research will only be a matter of throwing it into one research station and letting it run here. I am going to order if I can find it. There we go. I'm going to order a second research station to be built as well, or a third research station to be built as well. And we'll get another team working on picking those things up and let this go. This is going to be a couple of hours before this is finished. The research probably will pop off here shortly. The various researches will pop off here quickly. What I'll do is I'll get this research built, and we'll put this down here, and we'll get another team of bots just picking up whatever WUV we can, because they've cleaned this out now. Now, I don't know if they cleaned it out or if all of those despawned from sitting untouched for too long, because that also happens. But I have a feeling that what it was is they cleaned them out because all of these little guys here are broken, which means that they're not picking up the little loves and calling those in. So that has to happen. So what I'm going to do is between now and next week, we will attempt, and I use the word lightly, attempt to get the paper or the encyclopedia mill assembled. I want to see if maybe we can get the rest of the water wheels to try to get this going, and hopefully get the rest of the Millbury farms going and figure out what we have to do to actually get silkworms functional, so we can actually start looking at what we need to do to start producing the silk we need for the final thing for the silk cloth, which I believe the 3-piece suit was the whole thing. Yeah, so we haven't started rails, we haven't done much with the silkworms, and we are struggling to get research. But those were the surprises, some of the surprises that prevented me from finishing last week's episode, and I really apologize for not being able to get one up for you kids. That's how this game goes. Sometimes you just literally have to grind and let things catch up. Now again, we are still doing a lot of things very ineffectively, very, very highly inefficiently. The robot for a single task theory works really nicely if you can actually make it work. Unfortunately, I'm finding that if you're not doing a large-scale, tileable factory with these guys, you literally will become overwhelmed. At some point in time, you will literally become overwhelmed. We will do another series where I will do everything I can to try to make it as efficient as possible. It probably won't take us nearly as many episodes as it has to get to this point. In fact, I kind of hope it would just blast through as fast as I can crank out the research. But we won't have multiple tiers. I think I'll literally retire each set of peasants as I go on that one. Anyhow, that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks all for watching. Hope to see you next week. And good night for now.